Happy Monday, everyone. We are back. Hopefully you guys had a relaxing weekend. Hopefully it was pretty chill. Got some Netflix going on. Netflix, a little bit of whiskey. Whatever it is, however you guys enjoyed this weekend. Hopefully you guys had a relaxing weekend. But even if it wasn't a relaxing weekend, even if it was the opposite of a relaxing weekend, what's most important is what is your perspective about the weekend. Matter of fact, you'll grow the most when it wasn't, or if it wasn't productive, or if it was challenging. That's when you grow the most. So whatever your weekend was, guys, hopefully that you guys have the correct perspective about it. Because when you have the correct perspective, you win every weekend, every day, and every week. Okay? You transmute every quote unquote negative circumstance into beauty, because there's beauty everywhere and everything. And the more you exercise that muscle, the more beauty you see on purpose. And then you go to new levels, and it escalates. It's a ripple effect. It's exponential, the growth. It's addicting once you see it. Life it changes once you start seeing how amazing, how protected, how guided you are in this life. Everything truly is conspiring for you. Disappointments don't exist. Better always comes. And the more that gets from head knowledge into heart knowledge, the more you change and the more your entire life changes. It's incredible. It's like going down this rabbit hole, as I've said in the last podcast or a few podcasts ago. It's going down this rabbit hole. It's unplugging from the matrix like you're Neo. You took the red pill and you went down that rabbit hole. And it's like, oh my goodness, this is what life really is. Life is energy between good and bad. This is spiritual, guys, between good and bad. The Matrix was a documentary, I promise you. If you're not obsessed all the way into your God-given purpose, unplugged from the Matrix, so to speak, I promise you an agent can come inside you and do all kinds of things. All kinds of things. And you can live in that world. This is a spiritual battle between good and evil. Has nothing to do with anything else. Get your spirit right, guys, and everything else in your world starts becoming right. Listen, change from within, and then you change the without. Change from within, and you'll never go without. Change your inner world, and you'll change your outer world. Life is incredible. Life is incredible, but it gets more and more incredible the more that we're seeking to grow your character. Yeah, guys, this is what I've been learning, man, about life is it's a spiritual battle. It's a spiritual battle between good and bad. You know that quote? It says, it's like a native quote, I believe. It says, there's two wolves in every man, a positive wolf and a negative wolf. And the wolf that wins is the wolf that's being fed. Yeah. On a daily basis, we can choose which wolf we feed. That's it. Which wolf do we feed? The wolf of goodness or the wolf of destruction? And the more we feed the wolf of destruction, guys, whatever you put out into the world comes back to you. Whatever you put out into the world comes back to you with interest. Whatever you put out into the world comes back to you with interest. In anything. In anything. You're not taking care of your finances, and you're taking more money out than the money that's in, eventually it's going to have a minus sign, a minus total in your bank account. Eventually it's going to be financial disaster. You're not going to sleep on time. Eventually you're going to break down because your body just can't deal with that enough. Your body needs rest. You're not eating right. Eventually your body's going to get sick. You're not exercising. Eventually your body's going to break down because it needs exercise. I mean, whatever you're doing right, good, whichever wolf you're feeding will come back to you with interest. And the more we increase our self-love, the more that we'll feed the wolf of goodness. The more that we'll do that. The more that we'll do that. It's really simple. It's really simple. Life is really simple. Like we were taught to complicate it. Life is truly what you make it. You have this amazing God-given ability to become whatever it is that you want to. I suggest becoming whatever it is that you were put here to be. I suggest becoming who you've always been, truly. And that's in finding out what your purpose is and fulfilling that. Because no one could do what you were put here to do quite like you can. No one could do what you were put here to do quite like you can. But life is whatever you make it. You know, we know the placebo effect. You believe something to be true and then you're healed. There's the nocebo effect. You believe something to be true, meaning I won't be healed, something on the negative, and it happens. It's the mind. The power of the mind. Harness it. Well, Dan, so this is what we've always done as a family. Be that generational curse breaker. Change it. Don't accept it. Don't accept it. Well, I'm just so comfortable. It's hard. When you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, then you'll change. Obviously, it doesn't hurt enough for you, so keep going. Life will punch you in the face. As I said in the last podcast, life will punch you in the face, and the punches will get harder, harder, and harder, and harder. A lot of times, those punches will eventually lead to death. But those punches are there to get your attention. To get your attention. .9% of the time, we've created those punches. Yes, there are things that happen that are out of our control. But the majority of things that happen is because of what we're either doing or not doing. And we can change that. We can change that. All of my challenges as I became an adult, all of my challenges that have happened is a result of my lack of knowledge and my lack of wisdom in every area of life. Whether it's business, finances, my health, my relationships, it's my mindset, my peace, my joy, everything. I can't blame anyone. I don't want to blame anyone. It's like when I was boxing, as I said. If I look back the first time I started boxing, I'd cringe. Like, yo, that was really bad. But I got better. I got better in Muay Thai. I got better in Jiu-Jitsu. That's just life. This is not to condemn you, or this is not to feel bad about yourself. I don't feel bad. I make mistakes because I'm human. I'm supposed to make mistakes. That's just life. Life, it's like the sun comes up, the sun comes down. Mistakes will happen. The question is, are you learning from them? Okay? What did you learn from it, and what system are you putting in place to mitigate that happening again? Lower the odds of that mistake happening again. That's it. You just keep going. You keep going, you keep growing. It's a part of life. No problem. And people are so scared of mistakes. Oh my God, I'm scared of making a mistake. It's life. It'll happen. Whether you're standing still, mistakes will happen. I make mistakes with a smile right now because I know I'm getting better. And I know that mistakes are just a part of life. Part of life. So, yes, I've made mistakes in every area, as every human does. But what I learned, because I didn't have, in so many areas, I didn't have the right education, the right understanding of what to do. And so I've learned on my own. Oh my goodness, okay, I learned about business, relationships, finances. I've had some good basic groundworks when it came to the mind. You know, I grew up in the church, and my dad, my mom was super loving, and my dad was super ambitious. And he gave me the understanding that anything's possible. And then I understood, okay, there is a God. And then from those basic principles, I was able to start, thank God, putting pieces together from the seeds that have been planted in me. So I've been able to learn and get to a point where I knew, okay, mindset is real and you can create anything that you've ever wanted. However, I didn't have the correct skill sets. And even still, my mindset was still limited. And there is no, you reach the mountaintop, you just keep going, you keep learning. And so, yes, I've made mistakes. I'm going to continue making mistakes, but I'll continue making better mistakes, more evolved mistakes, wiser mistakes. That's the goal. Just keep going. Keep going. And then you get around a team of people that you can learn from, coaches, mentors, friends, family. And I don't consider family blood. I'm talking about your soul family, the family that helps you fulfill your purpose, the family that truly sees you. That's what I talk about when I say family. Family. Being around your family, your tribe. And you help each other fulfill each other's purpose. That's it. That's it. So, yes, I've made so many mistakes, but I'm learning from them. I'm continuing to learn from them, and I'm going to higher levels. So wherever you are, whatever mistakes that you've made, who cares? Learn from them. You're going to make more of them. Learn from them. Go to new levels. Go to new levels. Those new levels are your birthright. Those new levels are your birthright, guys. The point that I'm making is that, yes, all of the challenges that I've experienced as an adult has been because of what I just didn't know. Like, if I was to go back, I wouldn't have been in position for any of these things to happen. I wouldn't have done that. I wouldn't have done business like that. I wouldn't have hung around those people. As I said before, this is a spiritual battle. Either you're on this side or that side. Either you're on team God-given purpose or you're not. That's it. Simple. Simple. Listen, being equally yoked when you're connected with someone, friendships, relationships, marriages, business. Do we have the same company culture? Are we equally yoked? That's what matters, guys. That's what matters. So, yes, so I look back on things that I've done, and I wouldn't have done those things. I wouldn't have hung around those people. I wouldn't have had those relationships. I wouldn't have done that. I wouldn't have went there. I wouldn't have done business like that. I wouldn't have done business with those people. I mean, how I do business now, how I show up in my life now is completely different, but I had to learn through pain of how to do things better. That's it. That's it. You just learn. You grow. When I first started boxing, Muay Thai, Jiu-Jitsu, I was learning how to get better. When I look back, I wouldn't have made those same moves that I made when I first started fighting. When I first started training, I wouldn't throw that kick anymore, right? That's not a good kick, and it didn't even look good when I did it. You should say that same thing when you look back at your life in any area of life. People, places, and things. Oh my goodness, I just didn't know. Of course that happened. Of course. It's healthy to look back and cringe. It means that you're growing. It means that you're evolving. And as you evolve, the people, places, and things will evolve as well. I wouldn't do the things that I did. I wouldn't even be in position for any of those things, but I needed to go through those things. I needed to have those business relationships. I needed to do business like that. I needed to have those friendships. I needed to have those things. Those were precious, needed opportunities for growth. Yeah, they were needed. I don't look back and say, oh man, that was, no, I'm so thankful. I'm so thankful for the growth in anything. In all of the mistakes that I've done, even the mistakes that I'm doing right now that I don't even know that I'm aware of, I promise you, I'm gonna look back in a couple months and say, I'm so thankful I needed to go through that process. But guys, listen, mistakes will happen. Don't fear them. I knew someone who, my uncle was gonna start a business, and I was excited about it. And I was telling everyone that I knew that, oh, my uncle was gonna start a business. And I was asking someone about starting business, and she said she wanted to start business, but she wanted to start a business, but she was scared about failing. And guys, like this big bad wolf of failure, it will happen anyways. But it's not bad. Like, we've been programmed that failure is so bad. It's not. Failure is not bad. It's just a part of life. It's just a learning, it's just a feedback mechanism. You're just learning. It's going to happen anyways. You're going to make mistakes. The sun comes up, the sun comes down. What if someone said, oh man, I don't want to start a business because, you know, that sun comes up every morning. But what? What? It's just a part of life. Make mistakes with a smile. Make mistakes with a smile. Listen, now when I make a mistake, I could care less. 2 questions to ask yourself with any mistake. What'd you learn from it? And what system can you put in place so you lower the probability of it ever happening again? Boom, cool. Keep going. You're going to make another mistake because that's life. Not bad. It's life. It's going to rain tomorrow, or it's going to rain again. If you live in Nova Scotia, it's going to rain. It's life. It's going to snow during the winter. Like, it is what it is. It is what it is. Like, it is what it is. In boxing, someone's going to punch somebody. I don't like that they punch each other in the sport. Then don't watch the sport. It just is what it is. Like, it's not a bad thing. Either you make mistakes to what you really want, or you make mistakes to your regrets. It's that simple. So if mistakes are going to happen, just make them happen while you're going towards what you want. And how you mitigate those mistakes is by putting the system in place, getting mentors, coaches, and reading, and growing your character, becoming obsessed, growing your self-love, becoming obsessed with giving the world the greatest version of you. That's how you can lower the mistakes, or, you know, lower the probability that you'll make the same mistakes that you've made, and you keep going forward. You keep getting better. It's exciting, guys. So yeah, it's not a big bad wolf. It's just life, man. It's all good. So yes, 2 wolves. 2 wolves. Which one will you feed? You're going to make mistakes either way, guys. But which one are you feeding? You're human. You're not perfect. Progress over perfection. But it's the progress that brings joy. It's the progress that brings joy. So what are you going to feed? We're going into April. If you've been following me on this journey, I know what you're feeding. Even if you fell off. Oh, Dan, I fell off. Fall back in. Feed life. Feed life. Feed joy. Feed happiness. Guys, if we're going to be living on this earth, might as well enjoy it. And you can. And you can. And you can. When you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, then you'll go even further in to feeding the correct wolf. Okay? I'm talking to us both as we're growing. Keep going and keep growing, guys, okay? So this week, guys, set your schedule on how you're going to feed that wolf, the good wolf. Set your schedule, set it and hit it like the quality of your life depends on it. When you're going to do the inner work, the meditation, the reading, the affirmations, the visualizations. Guys, this work works as you work it. It's like going to the gym. It's not going to happen overnight, but it will happen in time. So set your schedule. Set it like the quality of your life depends on it, because it does. Hit it. Hit it, guys. Enjoy this incredible new week of life, guys. We have an opportunity to be here, to be breathing. People would die to be alive right now and take advantage of the opportunities we have in this global economy. Guys, that should excite you. Set your schedule, guys. Do the inner and the outer work, man. Let's make this week an incredible week on purpose. All right? I see you. I believe in you. I believe in you. All right, Motivation Mondays.